You see how I have my deal?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm a little different than Stan, and I actually do things a little different than how I'm going to teach you to do them, just because I know how to organize my life. But you see this little deal? I have a stack about this big, and each one has its own paper clip, and each one has the property information, and these are deals that I'm working on all the time. Okay? So I want you guys to also know, I've spent less than 10 hours on this deal. Okay? I am going to write checks next week. Because I know what I see, and I'm going a little off base here. So what I've done to the banks is I've said, hey, I'm interested in buying. What are you selling for? And I know they're going to send me a big number. I'm just going to write a check for what I want to pay. And I'm going to give it to the lawyer. And I say, this is what I want to pay for this property, or for this note. This is what I want to pay for this note. You've got the cash. Get the bank to agree. And then they're going to walk away. Who's got the money?
Lawyer.
The lawyer that represents who?
Bank.
So the bank's got the money in the bank. The seller has the money in the bank. All he's got to do is say yes.
But the lawyer gets his fees out of that check you gave him, so he's really
don't
going to
care.
push it.
So exactly.
Yeah.
Now, today I had a conversation with the second mortgage lender, and I think you guys know that I've been having problems with the second mortgage holder. And I found out some interesting information that he doesn't know he gave me. So my conversation went something along the lines of like this. I said, hey, listen, I've been trying to get a hold of you for I don't know how many days. He goes, yeah, I got your emails, I got all your voicemails, and you know, I'm waiting for the client to respond. I said, okay, so, and then he's like, so what's the deal? What do you want to do? I said, well, I want to buy the note. So he goes, you want the assignment into the foreclosure? I said, yes, I want the assignment in foreclosure. And he goes, okay, and so then what are you going to do? I said, well, I don't know, there's a couple of things I can do. And he's like, are you going to go for conduct of sale? And I said, no, he didn't say that. He goes, are you going to go for order absolute? I said, order absolute, okay, is very important for the second mortgage holder. Because if I'm the first mortgage holder and I go for order absolute, the second mortgage holder gets wiped out. And in my conversation with him, he goes like, it went something like this, and I'll try to remember as best I can. He goes, so what's in it for you? Like, what do you do? And I said, well, I'm a real estate investor, and I've been working with the seller, and the seller is really stuck in a hard place, and he's just happy to walk away from the deal. So there's two options I have. One of them is I buy the notes, I kill the foreclosure, the seller assigns the property over to me, he doesn't go into foreclosure, it doesn't wreck his credit, he got that. Or what I can do is I can rewrite the notes, give him a mortgage payment that he can afford, and then let him have at it. I said, you know, my money at 6% is better than my money at 1%. And then I said, well, I'm in negotiations with the first mortgage holder. And he goes, okay, so what's your plan? Order absolute? I said, well, that's one option. But, you know, I'm prepared to buy the second, if the numbers make sense. And I can give you your cash right away. And he goes, okay, well, let me chase down my client and get an answer for you. And I said, well, just let me know what the number is. I have an idea because I've been working with the seller, with the homeowner. So I have an idea what the numbers are. Just tell me what it is, and then I'll tell you whether it works or not. So in that conversation, and this is like, so you guys, like, this is so far over your head. In my conversation with him, he made a mistake that he whispered in my ear, which is, in January 18th, the second mortgage holder is applying for conduct of sale. So I've already put in a call into the seller, or to the homeowner, because I want him to get me clarification on that notice. Because that's probably a letter they sent to him, but he doesn't know he has it, or he doesn't know what it is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show up to the court with the homeowner. I'm going to fly him in for the day, and I'll pay for it. And I'm going to show up into court, and I'm going to tell him to say, Your Honor, I have a buyer for the house. I want conduct of sale. And that's really going to screw up the plans for the second mortgage holder. And that puts more leverage on me than on them. But I think by then we would have already settled everything. As I said, next week I expect to be writing checks. Okay, but I can. The reason why I'm trying to tell you this, I'm telling you this, and I'm keeping you informed of it is one, is to let you know how easy it is to buy real estate, and two, is that I'm making my decisions based on real information. So you guys should be making your decisions based on real information. Okay? So,
Could I ask a question?
you may ask your question.
You said order absolute screws up things for the, and that's verbatim.
Yeah,
Second.
you know what, Judith, that is so far over your head, like really. We're talking, you guys are in kindergarten and I'm talking university stuff, okay? It's just way, way ahead of where you guys are at. Eventually, if you practice and you put the effort in, you'll learn all this stuff just like I did. But for you to try to learn all that stuff, like, you could, if you wanted to, go to the law library. They explain the whole process to you.
I was just curious about this.
Order absolute, what it basically says is, you know how you have a property? If you fall behind your mortgage payments, right, you have a personal guarantee. So if the bank sells the property and they don't recoup all their money, they can legally come after you for the shortfall.
Right.
In an order absolute, what I'm saying is, Judith, give me the property and I'll forgive any debt you have with me. So you walk away scot-free, I get the property.
Okay.
And when that happens, if I'm the first mortgage, it wipes out everybody behind me.
Geez, do people who invest in second mortgages know that?
No, they don't. And the reason why they don't is because the banks never do that. Because the bank has no interest in buying the property. The bank doesn't want the property. They just want their money. I want the property.
Okay.
So the second mortgage holder, as much as he thinks we can fight about this, and we can argue about this, they don't know what they don't know. And the lawyer probably does, and that's why the lawyer mentioned it to me, and he probably didn't mean to mention it to me.